Hey guys, I asked you a question prior to this video, a little quirky, that being, what does an acne-ridden 14-year-old, a baby blue VW bug, and a tax lien have to do together, and how could that ultimately change your life? I'm excited to tell you in this video. First, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Scot Ulmer. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I have a beautiful wife of 13 years who has put up with me all that time. I like to tell people I put up with her, but I know better. We've got 3 beautiful kids, 2 girls and a boy, and I also like to say that my girls are in the diva phase right now. Hope it's a phase, but I have a sneaky suspicion it's not. Anyways, I always start off with my family because number 1, that is the first priority in my life, but number 2, correlating to this video, that is my why. That's why I get out of bed in the mornings. And one of the things that we like to talk about here before we even do any training is, what is your why? In fact, the very first recording we have in our audio program discusses your why. When you find out what your motivation is and you really can identify that, it's amazing how the rest of that falls into place. Let me tell you the story that started this whole video. 14 years old, I was a young man in prepubescent voice cracking age, and I had a lawn mowing service and mowed a lot of grass in the area in my neighborhood, and there was a house I would pass every time I was going to my route, and there was a baby blue Volkswagen Bug that was broken down in the back of the driveway. And had I not known any better, I would have thought the house was empty based on the condition. It was very, very dilapidated. It was not very well taken care of, and it frankly was a reflection of what the baby blue Volkswagen Bug was. Well, one day my lawnmower broke down. I have an uncle named Ted. We call him UT. He's a great guy, and UT was a car guy. Well, he came to help me pick up the lawnmower that had broken down to fix it. And we were driving by this house, and he saw the baby blue VW Bug in the back and said, "Hey, why don't you go talk to the guy, see if he would sell it? I've seen that car sitting here for months and months and months. Couldn't tell you last time it ran. I'll help you get it running. We'll change the oil, clean it up, wash it, give it a good bath, fire it up, and maybe sell it for a profit." And I said, "Absolutely, I would love that." So we walk up to the door, and picture this. It's this porch. It's dusty, dingy, overgrown bushes coming out, and this house looked very spooky. I always make it analogous to the Home Alone movie, and the neighbor across the street that had the beard that murdered his whole family in the backyard. That's what this guy reminded me of. Anyway, so I knock on the door, and the guy opens the door, and I looked like he was 10 feet tall, and here I'm 2 feet tall, and of course my voice had to crack at that moment. I mean, it just wouldn't have made sense if my voice didn't crack with all my acne. But I asked him if he would consider selling that car. Well, I didn't drive yet, so I could see the look on his face was kind of thinking, "Son, you can't even drive and you want to buy the car." Well, I let him know that I had folks that could drive that were going to help me. So what seemed like an eternity, which was probably only 2 minutes, he did respond. He would sell it to me. Full disclosure, hadn't run in years, was making no promises, and we agreed on a price of $750 for my first car. 14 years old, I bought it. It was great. So my uncle did everything we talked about. We got it cleaned up, running, took it to another neighborhood so we weren't too conspicuous, and put a for sale sign on it. And within a matter of a couple days, I sold that car for $1,500, and I doubled my money. I was excited as could be. 14 years old, kind of had the entrepreneurial juices flowing, and thought I was pretty hot stuff, I got to admit. Bought and sold my first car. Anyway, around that time, my father had read a book that changed his life and ultimately the course of my life forever. For those that have been around for a while, those seasoned folks watching this video, the book was called How to Wake the Financial Genius Inside of You by Mark Harrelson. And as the story goes, it was in a newspaper article. You could mail a check in for $10, and if you didn't like the book, they wouldn't cash your check for 30 days. So they would hold it for 30 days. If you didn't like the book, as long as you sent it back within the 30 days, they would mail you your check back. So my dad wrote a check for $10, even though he didn't have $10 in his account. And I smile at that fact. On one hand, it's obviously sad because we were very poor at that time. But on the other hand, my dad wrote a bad check, knowingly. I know that. Doesn't sound real good. But he did send the book back after reading it cover to cover 3 times, and they mailed him his check back. So full disclosure, he did not get the bad check cashed. Anyway, the book taught you a couple things. Wholesaling was one of them. So through the knowledge my dad acquired in this book, he was able to tie up a low-end property, assign it to someone for a wholesale profit, and made just over $4,200. And took the check, cashed it at the bank. He and my mother, who also grew up very poor, went in the safe deposit box room and threw all the money up and had it all showered down on them and laughed. And I still get the goose pimples telling the story because it's a neat story. It was all the money in the world that they had ever seen, and it changed the course of their lives and the course of my life as well. At that time, as I'm told, my parents were even eating popcorn so my brother and I could eat baby food. Wonderful childhood. I don't remember those days. I just remember a tremendous upbringing. But that book and that wholesale deal has had a tremendous impact on my life, and frankly, that's why I'm talking to you today. My father suggested I take that profit of $1,500 or my total $1,500 and we would go look at the tax lien sales. And with his help and the help of my father's attorney, I was able to buy a house, 1010 King Street. I still remember it today. Unfortunately, it's a parking lot. That shows you how special it was. Actually, prior to this video, when I started doing some of these trainings, I said, it might be kind of neat to have a picture of that house so I could show it on the screen and let everyone take a look at it. Well, pulled up on Google Maps and lo and behold, it's a parking lot. Not because it was a highly developed area, just because it was a pile of crap and they ended up tearing it down. Anyway, it was a great story. Was able to go buy this tax lien, over $700 or so with some legal fees. Was able to get title, get it cleared up. And I too did a wholesale flip. I flipped it to somebody else and ultimately made another $2,000 on top of my $2,200 investment. I'm hooked, man. I got the entrepreneurial bug flowing, and I realized I could do this on that level. Now, I'm 14, so let's be fair. I wasn't going to jump into it full time, but that's really my first hit. That's my first blush in real estate. I don't count that as my first full time, but I tell you that story because yes, I had a lot of acne as a kid. Yes, my voice cracked a lot, but it was that blue VW bug and a tax lien that shifted the course of my life, which brings me to today and ultimately how this could impact your life. Let me kind of fast forward. I get through high school, through college, I was able to flip a few homes. That's how I paid through college. I did play football my freshman year, and as I was telling Danny prior to this video, I did get a call from the NFL. They called it expressly, tell me that they had no interest in me to go ahead and hang up the cleats because I wasn't going anywhere fast. So I joke about that. I did play 1 year and I retired after that, hung up the cleats and gracefully took my exit out the side left. But through college, I was able to flip a few homes, made money, and I actually wanted to drop out of school. Money is a beautiful thing. I don't consider that a four-letter word. I like to make money. It's what drives us here, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But my parents wouldn't let me drop out of school. They forced me to graduate, which was, in hindsight, a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I took 20-hour semesters and ended up graduating in about 3.5 years so I could get out of school and start making money. At the time, my father had grown his real estate business to a fairly successful firm. We were doing 150 deals per year. We would buy them for cash. We would renovate them, and we would sell them off in what's called a land installment contract. And it's really a contract for someone to buy it over a period of time. We had the defined purpose of these buyers not just becoming credit ready, but mortgage ready in a finite period of time. We would walk them to a bank, work with a bank. From the early days of the contract, we would get them or help them get financing. We would take the profits, take the capital, roll it over, and do it again. 150 of these deals per year. So I tell people when I've done over 1,700 deals at this point over a 22-year career, part of that reason is because I did volume for many, many years. Guys, I've done deals as low as $3,000, or I guess as low as $1,500 from 1010 King Street. I've done them all the way up to $3.6 million. In fact, that's a home I bought while I was on vacation. We made $1 million on one deal. $1 million on one deal. It's a great story. I'm not going to go into it on this video. I will have a couple other videos that actually lay it out. It's a really cool story, and anytime you can flip a deal, make $1 million bucks, that's the biggest one I've ever done. I think I'll top it someday, but that to date is the biggest one I've ever done. What's important to know is that to date I've done over $100 million in real estate transactions. That means I've bought and sold over $100 million in homes. Not wholesale deals or inflated numbers and aggregating the contract prices. These are cash on cash deals that I bought and sold over my 22-year career. So I share these things with you in the spirit of full disclosure, but I need to tell you, and I wish I'd have said this a little earlier in the video, humility is a real big part of our culture here. It's a big part of my belief. It's a big part of our culture here at Pink. We believe in being humble. We want to do things the right way. We want to do things with humility. But there's a lot of gurus out there. There's a lot of gurus. I just heard that term the other day, new gurus. And frankly, there's a lot of white noise out there. Folks that have done a couple deals and all of a sudden they're these online bona fide experts. Now, it's not my place to judge anybody, but I do need to tell you, and again, the spirit of full disclosure and in spite of the humility and the core belief of humility, I need to tell you who you're listening to, what my experience level is, and why you should listen to me in the end. So forgive any lack of humility as I go through this video. Let's fast forward the tape. As we're going along, life is good. We've got a tremendous real estate investment business. Well, all of a sudden 2008 hits and we lost everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. It decimated our company, decimated my family. It has had lasting effects in many, many ways. And from there, I entered the lowest point of my life. I was at rock bottom, and I mean rock bottom. what's profound about some of those rock bottom experiences is that they teach you some of the greatest lessons in life. And listen, nobody wants to go through them. I don't look forward to my kids having to go through them, but I heard a quote the other day: you don't go to the gym with styrofoam weights. If you lift styrofoam, you don't get stronger. It's the harder and the heavier the weights, the stronger you get. Sometimes you have to go through those tough times to learn lessons. It was in those low points of my life when I was at rock bottom that I got the lessons that I live my life by, the lessons that govern us here at Pink, that we run our business by, that really provide the culture for us at Pink here. It's those lessons that I learned at the bottom that will guide me for the rest of my life. Well, in spite of all of the tough times and really devastating window of time, I had a blessing out of nowhere. I got a phone call from none other than the godfather of real estate, Ron LeGrand. For those of you who don't know Ron LeGrand and you're in the real estate space, you must be hiding under a rock. Ron has been around since Moses. In fact, he told me the other day he and Moses used to hang out back in the day. No, bad joke, I know, but he's an old guy. What can I say? Been around about 40 years, and he really is the gorilla in our space. He's the premier guy, been around forever. Anybody that's anyone in the real estate investing world knows who Ron LeGrand is. Well, Ron was looking for me to run his real estate operation. So flew me down to Jacksonville, Florida, offered me a job on the spot, and within 60 days I moved my family down here full-time to run Ron's real estate division and his real estate operation, better way to say it. In a very short window of time, I started traveling with him all over the country, coaching a lot of his students. And frankly, over the years I was with him, I worked with thousands of people around the country. I graduated into doing most of his high-level coaching. I ran most of his high-level groups. And ultimately, I did a lot of individual trips where people would pay a lot of money to bring me to their city just to do their deals for them. It opened my eyes to the tremendous amount of wonderful people around the country who have an interest in real estate, have the ability to do real estate successfully, but were looking for an avenue or a platform that they could plug into that could teach them how to do things. My time with Ron was incredible. I learned a wonderful amount of things from Ron. I'm forever grateful to him for really helping me from the lowest point of my life. After a few years working with Ron, I branched out on my own to pursue my dreams. Well, let me tell you what those are and kind of how those got started. In 2004, I had a very serendipitous meeting with a franchise real estate attorney, or franchise attorney, who happened to have a specialization in real estate. Over a 2.5-hour lunch meeting, I laid out our blueprint, our business model, what our intent was, what our mission was to really help create homeowners for folks that can afford a mortgage and a down payment, but may not be able to walk into the bank today and qualify for a traditional mortgage. I still have the letter to this day, what was his synopsis of our meeting, where he said, not only do I see you having the ability to replicate this business model in markets across the country, but I see you being able to help a section of America achieve home ownership in a non-traditional way. And by the way, guys, all of my deals, the vast majority of them have been non-traditional. I've got hundreds and hundreds of flips behind me, but many of them were non-traditional flips. And the specialization of being non-traditional has really broadened me, and I've done every type of residential real estate deal out there. At least I tell people I have. I'm sure there's deals I haven't done, but I would challenge you to show me residential deals that I haven't done either. I'm also going to say one other thing. There are a lot of really talented real estate folks out there. There's some very legitimate gurus like Ron LeGrand, and I'm sure there's some really legitimate gurus as well. But I would challenge you to find folks, many folks at least, that have had more experience in the trenches than myself in real estate over a 22, 23-year career. There's just not that many out there, particularly with the amount of deals and the volume that I've done. Again, I share that with you because you need to know who you're listening to and why. So when I branched out, we started Little Pink Houses of America. In our first 100 days, we had over $10 million of homes in inventory, and we generated over $100,000 cash on cash. That's not fluff number, that's not equity, that is dollar for dollar cash on cash within 100 days. We believe we had something special here. This reaffirmed what we had already thought. We decided from that point on we were going to wrap our entire business model around this investing strategy. It's a niche investing strategy. One of the biggest problems you find in real estate is there's many ways to skin the cat. And I find many people kind of go off on these different tangents and different beaten paths, chasing some strategy that they don't quite know and they don't have a chance to really get good at. We do one thing here, and we do it with excellence, and we do it well, and that's what we teach our folks to do the same. Learn this niche. Niche can equal tremendous, tremendous success. And I got to tell you, with our business model and our investing strategy, not only can you make life-changing money, but you can help people become homeowners, and that is a collateral benefit that's hard to place a value on. Post-2008, millions of Americans not only lost their homes, but they lost the potential or the vision to achieve what they considered at that time to be the real and true American dream, which is home ownership. Because it was so far gone, or what they perceived to be so far gone, they just decided, well, it's probably not the American dream anymore. And I heard that quite a bit post 2008. I'm here to tell you that's a bunch of crap. The American dream has and always will be home ownership. Owning your own home creates stability for your family. It gives you an opportunity to leave them a legacy. It's a place where you can develop memories. It enhances neighborhoods. Owning a home is your slice of Americana. What do they say? Chevrolet, apple pie, and owning your own home. And as we like to say, Chevrolet, apple pie, and Little Pink House of America, we are a part of Americana because we create homeowners. That's really our mission. So in spite of the fact that we had this massive recession and home ownership became such a distant reality or dream for so many people, we're here to tell them and tell you that it's not. You can make life-changing money doing this and help people become true homeowners in the process. So let me tell you kind of the essence of this video. There's a couple opportunities you have to work with us here at Little Pink Houses of America. In doing so, it allows you, or could allow you, to get rid of your JOB, the three-letter word, right? The job. Having to report to a jerk boss, having to go to a job that you don't like, not making enough money, or being limited for the money that you make. One of the beautiful things about real estate is it is scalable. Frankly, it has limitless potential. The more time you put in, the more money you can make. And when you have a strategy like ours, we average over $10,000 per deal. Guys, how many deals a year does it take to have a heck of a year? You do one deal a month. One deal a month, you're making six figures. How many more deals a month do you need to do? I'm not suggesting it's easy. We work hard. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I tell people that all the time. If you're looking for the easy way out, you're on the wrong place. We work hard. We expect our partners to work hard as well. However, if you can follow a system, you understand what your why is, you have your motivation mapped out, and you're ready to hop in and do whatever it takes to get there, we can provide you the roadmap and the platform to not only change your life, but change the lives of others, which is really the essence of that quirky question at the very beginning. What does an acne-ridden 14-year-old, a baby blue VW bug, and a tax lien sale have to do with each other? How could it change your life, and how could it change the lives of others in your community as well? This is how. This is a great system. It's a great program. We're very proud of how we do business. I tell people this a lot as well. If you use our system, our platform, the right way, the way we have it set up, it's a great way to buy a home. It's a great way to sell a home. And when we have it structured the way we do on all of our deals, we have tremendous success rate with our clients as well as the folks that we work with on an affiliate level. Right now we're in about 27 markets around the country. We're growing every day. We're getting interest every day. And it's our big picture plan to be in every major metropolitan market in the United States and North America, because we're now in Canada as well, over the next several years. We want people to think pink if they get denied for a bank loan, or if they just are looking for a non-traditional way to buy or sell a home. Guys, it's a great opportunity that I'm presenting to you here, and I want to tell you a little more about it as we kind of wrap up. At the bottom of the link screen here, there's going to be a link for an application. Fill it out, send it in to us. Tell us a little about yourself. We'll give you a call shortly thereafter, and let's discuss whether or not this is a good fit for you, good fit for us as well. There's a couple different entry points you can come in. If you want to just sit in your living room and have a course and a training manual and videos, we can provide those to you. We also offer people the opportunity to come spend a week in our office behind closed doors to kind of see how it's done in person, live in real time. It's a great opportunity. We do offer those trainings, and for some folks that are ready to dive in with both feet, we actually have the opportunity for you to become a representative of us in your market. So whatever level you want to get started at, whatever your interest level may be, and whatever your commitment level may be, we've got opportunities for you to work with us. We're an exciting, dynamic team. We've got a great group of people here, great staff of people dedicated to our clients and our affiliate success, and frankly, this will be an opportunity for you to get to know them and get to meet them as well. I'm going to tell you very quickly, the mission statement at Pink International Real Estate Academy is really 3 words. It's inspire, educate, and implement. We're going to teach you and help you find what your inspiration is if you don't know it. Again, you know your why, you know your motivation, the rest falls into place. Second to that, we're going to give you education. We're going to teach you A to Z, soup to nuts, how to execute our business model, how to buy and sell homes this way, how to help create homeowners. It's a great system. We're going to educate you and show you the exact roadmap that we use every day. And we're going to teach you and force you to implement. Implementation is where 95% of people fall short. Scratch my head every time. I just don't understand it. But those that don't take action and don't get off the sidelines are never going to achieve their dreams. You can't make the jump shots you don't take, as Michael Jordan famously once said. If you don't get off the sidelines, you don't chase your dreams, you're never going to achieve them. Guys, I'm here to tell you there's a reason you've watched this video, there's a reason you're still watching it. This could be that opportunity for you to change your life, and I hope that it is. So fill out the application at the bottom here, send it in. One of my folks will get back to you in a couple days. Let's have a discussion, see if it's a good fit for you, and I sure hope I get the chance to cross your path here in the very near future. I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a great story at the time, and I hope it's still a great story today, and I hope that we get to cross paths very, very soon. Thank you.